What up, ladies and gents? My name is Hayden, or you can call me Hazy. I'm bringing this deck profile to you guys today, and it's been really exciting for me to try out, especially with the new ban list just dropping. It's so exciting. Everybody's trying out new decks. There's probably going to be way more decks coming to the competitive scene. So in this video, I'm going to quickly go over the ban list. I'm going to explain my deck profile, and I'm also going to go over some highlights from two of my app clashes. After that, I'm going to go over the pros and cons of my list against the two matchups that I had, as well as what this list might be capable of doing against other lists. However, before I do that, I want to point out that Riley and I would really appreciate any support you all can give us, and the easiest way to do that is by hitting that subscribe button. Like and subscribe! As we know, the ban list just dropped, and it has been making tidal waves across the Elestrals community, and no, Tsunami was not banned. We already have insight on what direction to follow, thanks to some of the more popular content creators in the Elestrals world, such as Caster's Corner, the Elestronauts, MBT Elestrals, and everybody's fan favorite Words. And they tell you everything you need to know. So I'm not going to go over what they say, because if you watch their videos, you're going to have a wonderful direction to go in. They're very thorough. They are very experienced. These guys know what they're doing. All I'm going to tell you is that removal is no longer so much of a threat. Still a threat, but not much of one. There's also Lavalith that was cut down to 1, so it's going to allow for more Nexus strategies and more people to not be scared of using their Nexus strategies. Lavalith was very scary if you're playing Windburn and you have 2 Wind Spirits on your Aeolus. Then it gets popped, you can't search, now you can't Nexus. Kind of sucks. The game is allowing for every other strategy underneath the sun, not the moon, to have a chance to compete. Kind of. Obviously, there are a lot of decks that won't compete, but there are a whole lot more besides Fives and Heal. And Earth. Now, for my list. Starting out with Ash Rabbit, the best card in the game. Of course, I'm running 3 copies of that. I've also got some other 5 defense cards, like Broomelings, also running 3 copies. I've got 2 Ash Rabbit. I was running 3 at first, but then I figured I'll run 2. Not really a card you want to see in the early game. So, as for my other cards, I've got 2 Catarants to regen the Frost Spirits. I've got 3 Arcturs to get over anything I might not be able to get over with Comagma or Catarant, my only other attackers. Besides Morolith. I've got 2 of these guys, and I've got 1 Lavalith. The Morolith. Hayden, why are you running Morolith? Morolith is so dumb. Well, let me tell you, he's got an easy summoning condition, especially when you're playing cards like Comagma. If I'm in a losing state of the game, then I can normal cast Morolith with no other Elestrals on the field. Like, I can just drop a 6 down. I'm gonna have to mill 5, great. Of course, I'll have Ash Rabbit, I can get those cards back later. Lavalith, of course, you have to run. Can only do 1 copy now, my heart's broken, but I'm glad he can still be a part of it, you know? A lot of people are just like, I'm not going to run it anymore, but you need to run Lavalith. This card is insanely OP. As for my runes, I'm running the 1 Resting on the Laurels that is now allowed. I've got 3 Gorgon's Gaze, 3 Tsunami, 3 Ambrosia, 3 Shield of Achilles. Then I'm running 2 Scepter of Kione. I'll come back to that. 3 Chains of Prometheus, and 3 Cryoblast for my removal. Now for the Scepter. The reason I'm running this card is because I'm already maining Frost, right? So the reasoning behind this card is that I didn't want a stadium to buff my cards because of the multi-element situation I have going on here, although I'm maining in quotations Frost. So I wanted to keep that with the most spirits, or I wanted to keep an artifact or a Nexus Bank with the spirits that I was using the most. And also, I'm using 1 Nexus card, which is Broomelings. An advantage on this is that if I have a Catarant and a Broomelings on the field, I can Nexus off of the Scepter, and then I can regen 2. Catarant, if I do have an open push, it'll be a 3-spirit hit plus then the 1 on Broomelings. It can just turn into some really good and really advantageous plays if you are playing this control deck correctly and you are maintaining a good board state. As for the spirits, I'm running the 9 Fluoromine. I'm running 5 Pyro between the 3 chains, the 1 Lavalith, 3 Comagma, and 2 Ash Rabbits. That one is a little dicey, but for the 2 games that I have played, let me tell you, I haven't had one issue with it yet. I've got 3 Leviathan and 3 Zaptors. The thing with this right here is that I am running 3 with 3 and 3 with 3. I could be running 2 Water with 2 Tsunami and 2 Thunder with 2 Ash Rabbit, and then I could bump the Fire up to 7. So it's an easy switch if I really want to, but for the time being, I haven't found an issue with that Fire, like I said. So to me, it's worth having an extra Thunder to re-enchant Ash Rabbit, or it's worth having an extra Water to misenchant any one of these Elestrals to get around Tsunami. Alright, now for the good stuff. Let's get to the clashes. Wow, I've got a really good hand to start out with. Of course, I'm going to start out with an Ash Rabbit. I'm going first, so he's got no response. I've got 2 counters ready to go. Gorgon's Gaze and Tsunami is really, really good. Odds are he's not going to get a card that can get over Ash Rabbit right away, so Tsunami's not really going to be that great. But having Gorgon's Gaze in hand is really advantageous because I'll be able to stop any effects that he might get, like an Elechick. I've also got a Comagma that I just picked off. I chose that over the others because Comagma is going to be able to get my Recycle engine going. At this point in time, I had no idea that this opponent was running mill, so I was feeling really, really good. In a second, it's going to get really scary because he's going to start drawing and he's going to start milling like crazy. My deck is going to go way down, and then you'll see what happens from there. Humbus comes out in defense mode. I'm like, oh shit, I got no response. I probably should have Gorgon's Gaze, knowing that he just drew 2 cards, and he was probably about to throw an onslaught of runes and milling right at my deck. So right away, that's going to be 4 cards milled with Golden Apple's effect and the Humbust effect. He's going to take out my Broomlings from my hand. That's great. That's fine. All I wanted to do, or I wanted to keep Comagma, and I wanted to keep Catarant for that or the Spirit Regeneration. Of course, Cornucopia is going to get the draw, mill 2, and he's going to be able to recover that Spirit. I think he only gets 1 here. Yep, only 1 because of the 1 Ambrosia. But I have a good feeling I'm going to be seeing more Ambrosias. And let me tell you what, in a mill deck, that is not a card you want to see. Avalanche is very, very good. With the Humbust effect, I now have to mill 5 cards. Of course, for me, my opponent is fueling my Recycle engine. I have no cards to recycle right now, as I don't have an Ash Rabbit in hand. But if I get an Ash Rabbit, I have plenty of cards to choose from. There goes one of them. I keep fanning out my Underworld because I'm like, alright, what cards do I have in my deck? He's thinning my deck for me, so he's also allowing me to see what cards I have left in my deck. But that's still not anything special. I decided to go for the Water Enchant versus the Fire Enchant because I just want to get over this freaking Humbust, man. If I can get over it, he's got 1 back row. Of course, Poison Tipped Arrow was the perfect play. Now I lose my Comagma, and now I have to mill 2 as well. And I couldn't attack over because his defense is at 2, and my Comagma was dropped down to 2. So I was not feeling good about that. I am feeling good about the card advantage. I have more cards on field. He has 2 cards in hand, but that is all he has, and all he's got is a Humbust, so that's a really, really scary thing. I'm going to go ahead and GG's the Elechick. I've got a feeling he's got a Zeus coming up, so this way I can stop him from getting over the Ash Rabbit. Oh, I did pick up another Broomalynx. What do I do here? Ah, that's right. Okay, so I choose to, knowing he has no back row, Tsunami before I get anything started. That puts his 4-attack Elechick in defense. It allows me to regen 2 with Catarant, and I've got a 3-attacker and a 2-attacker, which the Ash Rabbit can now get over the Elechick, and the Catarant can get over the Humbust, and now I'm leaving my opponent with a shitty board state. I've got 1 back row and 2 cards on field. Let's see what he can do. He's got a Cinder. That is also scaring me. Do I have a response? I don't know, buddy. Do I? Yep, this time I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and Gorgon's Gaze that before he gets anything going. He put it in attack also. I know he was planning to swing over that Ash Rabbit. Here, I think I decided just to go ahead and get some punches in. Yep, I want to keep my Ash Rabbit in case I need the card advantage. I'm going to put Broomelings to attack. I'm pretty sure I crash with one of these guys. What do I do? Oh no, Broomelings to defense. I'm like, hey, I'm just going to crash these guys and then I'll keep two big defenders on field that have really good effects. So I think I made a misplay here. I decided to punch for one when I could have cast Scepter and I could have Nexus and then been able to punch for 3. But my only issue is with that is that I would have been leaving Broomelings to an easy out. I did have Tsunami, but just in case he would have Water Enchanted anything for attack or higher, I would have been done for. Of course, my opponent's playing mill though, so like, what do I care? I now have 2 Ash Rabbits in the Underworld. My recycle strategy is done. Bag of Winds, I think that brings him up to 4 attack. That's a really easy out, especially with Arcturus. Again, what was I doing? I could have Nexused 2 more onto Broomelings, and I could have hit for 4 this turn. 5 if I decide to switch Ash Rabbit. Can't really remember what I did with this game. Opponent's just thinking for a long time. He's probably just, wow, how the hell did he get this out? I had Bag of Winds. Well, Arcturus takes it out, so. Resting on your laurels. Okay, that's fair. Take out the Arcturus. What does he got coming? Spend a draw. And with that, is pretty much game. I think what I do here is... See, why am I not doing the Nexus strategy? I would have won right here. Oh. Yeah, why? I'm just dumb. Okay, so clearly... This was my first game. I probably should have played it a little bit better. I would have just won that turn. But it's learning strategy, definitely. The mill deck isn't a great example. I just wanted to show you guys because it was one of the 2 matches that I recorded. But yeah. That's pretty much game, actually. I'm going to stop here, and we'll get right into the other one. My next clash is against Brulok on Rhino Sect. If you haven't noticed, I have 3 Tsunamis in my hand. That feels really good. I have no idea what Brulok is going up with, or what deck he's using at this point. There's the standard Glub that we love to see. But yeah, my starting hand is pretty good, I would say. 3 Tsunamis and a shield. I've got 4 counter runes ready to go. I can block 4 attacks, which feels really, really good. I had the option of 2 Ambrosias and an Arcturus. I did choose the Arcturus because I have no more Elestrals in hand, and Arcturus is a really good card to get over anything that he might put out. Let's say he puts out an Ash Rabbit. I can get out his, or I can get over his Ash Rabbit, or I can force him to use a counter rune, so that feels really good. That feels really bad. Rhino Fred off the bat. I have no GGs. That means he has a Rhino Sect in hand. I'm gonna get ready to get beat here. This does not feel good at all. Of course, we all know that you have to change mode in the app in order to put Rhino Sect in the back row and empower an Elestral. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. There's the first. Don't do it, Brulok. Don't do it! Don't do it! Ah, he did it! Alrighty. I had to say it, bro. Your luck is absolutely crazy. AKA insane. Oh man, 2 Rhinosects. The reason I said that is because the last time I played Brewlock, he got 3 Rhinosects out on the field at the same time. So that is why I said his luck was insane, because this is the second game in a row I've played him where he's gotten 2 or more out on the field in one turn. Of course, I'm really happy that he doesn't water enchant his Rhinosect. Doing so would have had avoided my tsunamis, and I would have taken a huge hit there. This Lavalith right off the bat feels really good. I'm able to pop the 1 counter rune he has. Luckily, it is Shield. That is the best possible card that I could pop. If he had a Tsunami, I would have been screwed. Of course, I would have had a Tsunami on my own turn, but this allows me to at least get over one of his Rhinosects. So I'm feeling pretty good here. I've still got the 2 back row. I have 1 Tsunami, 1 Shield. I've got a Lavalith in attack, and he's got 1 Rhinosect on board. Of course, that Rhinosect is scary, but my back row is really good. He's playing with card advantage here. Now even more card advantage. He's got Nectar of the Gods. But considering we both have 2 spirits on the field, I have a comfortable 5 spirit lead. I was really surprised to see this. He did attack when he's got no back row. So, you know, now that I'm thinking, why did I shield this? He attacked and he had no back row. I would have been able to attack next turn and destroy it, assuming he doesn't have Rise. And even if he had Rise, that would have been a 5 spirit move. I'm really confused why I did that. Noticing a lot of misplays. A lot of misplays. I hope you guys are learning from it too. Best card to play here, definitely Broomalinx. I decide to... Yeah, why would I play that in defense? I'm trying to poke. Of course, I got another Tsunami down. That really helps. Hit for 3, feeling good. Card advantage, though. Card advantage looking real scary. 7 cards to my 1 in hand. He's got a Keo, and that means he's going to be able to get a Rhinymph back, assuming that he has another Rhinosect in hand, which would be absolutely crazy to draw 3 Rhinosects in your first 11 cards out of your 40 cards. What would be the odds of that? Like what? Like what? How does he have another Rhinosect? Oh, I'm stupid. I shielded it. That's why. Why the frick did I shield his Rhinosect? Oh man. I am so dumb sometimes. I am so dumb. But that's all good. We learn from it. We move on. This is, yeah, like I said, my first 2 games playing this deck, so obviously there are some discrepancies here, but overall I think the deck piloted pretty well, considering that the metagame is still being figured out. Mainly, everybody's scared of the big guys dropping, which I was here. That Rhinosect does not look good. He's able to destroy my Lavalith off the bat. That's good. But I do have another Tsunami. Odds of that are crazy. He has no idea I've got the 3rd in my back row. My luck was ridiculous on that end. Of course, I do have an Arcturus. He has no back row. I'm feeling amazing about this moment. Of course, I have to spend 2 spirits in order to bump my Tectorus. Or no, 1 spirit because he's in defense. That's good. I'm able to get over the Rhinosect, and then I'm able to poke for 1. That is the power of Arcturus, though. His 3 attack on the defense side, or on my opponent's turn, obviously isn't that great. So he definitely needs the counter rune support to back him up. But for the time being, like for your turn when you first cast him out, like Arcturus is a really good tool to use. If his Rhinosect was an attack with 8 attack, I would have been able to expend 2 and get over that as well. So he's got a lot of good utilization. Really don't want my Broomlings to go. I'm really hoping I can target that back row and just kind of lock him down that way. I don't really care. Like, I wouldn't have really cared that much because I do have the Komegma in hand. I would have been able to hit over. But in this case, being so in the late game, I think it was smart for me to do that. Right here, I'm deciding between Ash Rabbit and Komegma. My thought is if I cast Komegma and I use its effect, I have an Ash Rabbit in hand. That's a good card, and it's late game, so it's perfect. That's something I probably want to activate. But the tough thing here... Alright, so I'm choosing to activate Komegma's effect. I've got no response here. I'm assuming that I'm just going to discard whatever card I draw. Of course, this kind of puts me in a tricky situation because I want to be able to recover 2 spirits. I haven't seen an Ambrosia all game. But I also have an Ash Rabbit that can get me some really important cards. So I decide to go for the discard on the Catarant. I think the Ash Rabbit's more important as I have no back row. Here, I'm really lucky he didn't have any back row. But I'm feeling pretty good. I don't know... Like, if he is a 5 attacker, I'm obviously not looking good. He can take out the Arcturus, and then I'm kind of just screwed. Ash Rabbit's card you never want to see. Again, I'm feeling pretty good. He's got 1 defense position, Elestral, so I can still get over with Arcturus. I get an Ash Rabbit of my own. That is a very, very good card. Of course, I don't know... What is my mindset here? Of course, I like to fan out the Underworld, see what I can retrieve, see if I can give him good enough picks to where no matter what he picked, I would get something useful and hurtful to him. Tough decisions here. Tough decisions. Instead, I'm going to go for a... Wow. Check out this big brain move here. If y'all thought I was dumb on the last plays... Check this out. I send in the Ash Rabbit. He's got a fire, so he receives a fire. I'm going to be able to use this effect, but now he also has a Frost Spirit, which means I can use Broomalinx's effect to shut down his back row while keeping all 3 of my Elestrals on board. Of course, I get rid of that 4 attack on Komegma, but that 4 attack is irrelevant, and he chose Tsunami, which was the 1 card that was the bluff. I did not want him to choose because I don't have any Water Spirits, and I think he read my bluff. He definitely read my bluff. So with that being said, I was kind of disappointed in that move. Here I'm going to go ahead and move on with the Broomalinx Nexus. Like I said, I'm going to be able to shut down that back row, except he GG's, but he's choosing to GG my Arcturus, which means that he has an Elestral in hand that he's hoping to get over. If he has anything higher than that 4 attack, or anything 4 attack or higher, he can get over all 3 of my Elestrals while they're in attack position. So that's looking really scary. Nothing else I can do this turn but set my Tsunami, so I'm going to go ahead and pass to him. Puts out a Catarant, probably one of the few cards he needed, given that he can recover 2 Frost Spirits now. But now he's going to be able to crash into my Tectorus and take him out. Pretty sure I just said Tectorus again. Arcturus. Would you look at that? Talk about luck of the draw, bro. Talk about luck of the draw. I've got 1 Frost Spirit left. That is GG's, and that is going to be it for my deck profile and games. Hope you guys enjoyed.